We didn't come out with the same sense of urgency we went into half with. Probably got a little too comfortable. It's happened the last few games, so it's something we need to address. And just staying locked in and being focused the whole time. Uh, I thought we were solid throughout the game. That first 4 to 5 minutes of the second half, I think they scored almost every possession, and that definitely changed the tone of the game.
Did they change anything up defensively?
Did they?
Yeah.
No, not for the most part. They were aggressive coming out. It was more so a lapse on us, and they took advantage and made the plays. They made the shots they needed to, and like I said, that changed the tone. And they probably were more physical, if anything. And coach said that at halftime they're gonna come out and be more physical, and we didn't match it right away.
You guys played great defense. How did you carry over that defense to the second half?
Being locked in and just staying focused. Like I said, it was mostly just kind of miscues and mishaps. They got some open shots, and great players like that they have. You're gonna take advantage and make them.
Coach mentioned that he doesn't think that your record at this point reflects your play. Do you feel the same way?
Yeah, I definitely think so. The first 3 games in the pack, we struggled, but Arizona game, we were right there till like the last 5 minutes. Utah, we were in most of that game. Oregon, we were up at half. So if you look at our last games lately, Oregon State, we lost by 1. We've been in the games, or we've been playing with the team. So we just got to make it a 40-minute game.
From your perspective, what's it going to take to be able to lock some of those games and walk away with a win?
Little things. 'Cause at the end of the day, the great teams do little things. They take advantage of opportunities and make the plays, and we got to take advantage when teams slip up and make mistakes, and we got to make sure we don't slip up.
Byron, how do you feel after a loss like that when you played so well in the first half, particularly yourself?
Not really. I really feel bad, honestly. After the first half, I feel like we played it really hard. And just to have a lapse for 5 minutes in the second half, which really was the story of the game. And once we dug ourselves in that hole, it was too deep to get out of.
What did you guys do tonight to keep it close that you guys weren't able to do at Poly?
We just came out and played hard. We were really timid the first 5 to 7 minutes at Poly. And so that was what we wanted to focus on coming in. We came out, got some stops, got some baskets to go in, and we were just playing as a team.
You had 18 points in the first half, 9 in the second half. How was UCLA able to beat them?
They were just guarding the three-point line. First half, I was able to get a lot of easy looks. My teammates were doing a really good job of getting in the lane, kicking the ball out to me, and I was just knocking down open shots. So credit goes to UCLA.
How did you guys feel at halftime? You're shooting really well, but it kind of seemed like you only had a 6-point lead rather than being up possibly 10, 15.
We felt good. We had some stretches where we played great, and we had some stretches where we had some defensive lapses and some turnovers, which led to some transition baskets for them. But all in all, we were pleased with our first half. Definitely not pleased with our second half.
You come out hot in the first half. You play a great first half. You close it out playing pretty well and trying to, like you said, dig out of the hole. What was said in the second half, amongst all of you to kind of, flip the light switch on? Like Keyshawn, you're saying you felt you got to look complacent coming out of the half. What was said to kind of rally the ship and get yourself back into that game? Or try to, at least, if you can.
We just wanted to stick to the game plan. Our key is not turning the ball over, because when we turn the ball over, they're able to get out in transition and get layups and get dunks. And so when we started turning the ball over, it was kind of the end for us. And I feel like we continued to fight. We had a stretch in the second half where they really were putting some pressure on us, but we continued to fight to the end, so I'm proud of my team.
What are some things that you guys need to work on as a team?
We just need to firstly focus on playing hard for 40 minutes. We've had some games where we've gotten close to playing hard for the whole game, but we haven't accomplished that yet. And once I think we master just playing hard for the whole game, I think that we'll start seeing some wins.
What is it that prevents you guys from being consistent with the first game?
I don't know. We just have some stretches where we don't get the job done defensively, and when we take plays off on defense, it shows.
gotten better there as the team has matured? Have you noticed an improvement in that area?
Yeah, I feel like every game we continue to get better. Um, Even after a loss like this tonight, there's still a lot of positives to draw from. You know, some guys came in and played really hard off the bench. DJ was a huge boost for us. So there's always some positives to draw, but just back to the drawing board and get ready for our next game.
Offensively, did you guys find it to be tougher in the second half once they stopped missing shots? Is it more difficult to get out and transition and everything?
Yeah, always. A big part of our game is transition as well. And when you're not getting stops, you got to take the ball out every time, walk it up the court, and that allows them to set up in their defense. They were able to get in their zone, which kind of gave us some problems early in the second half. And basically, once we stopped getting stops, it really changed the game for us.
I agree. I think the main stat might be the way they shot the three in the second half compared to us. I mean, like I said, and that was mostly just miscues. We know they have shooters, especially the Ware. I think he had two at the top of the key, and Norman Powell made two, which I think he's kind of added to that to his game lately. He's been shooting better. He's definitely been playing better. So I think that was just the main thing. We did a great job of finding the shooters and closing out in the second half. We didn't pick up in transition as well. And then that led to them making their threes, and then, like I said, we had to walk the ball court.
One last question, anyone?
As a team, you guys only were 11 from 21 in the line. What, on a night like that, what winds up happening? I mean, how is it that, what do you kind of have to take away from it? I mean, I think people sit there and, who don't play the game sit there and say, oh, well, those are 10 free points and you give them away, but there's probably something more to it than that, right? So what goes into a performance like that where it's just not going for you at the line? How do you kind of turn that around for the next one?
Like I said, I think that's more of a mental shot. You're going through the game. It's full up and down, full speed. Then you just have to stop making a free throw, and then it's a lot easier shooting the first half when you're up 10 compared to the pressure that's put on you when it's the last 5 minutes or the last 10 minutes, and they're in the run. And you know how bad you need that free throw to kind of change the momentum of the game. So I think really just the pressure of it. That's probably the biggest difference. They did a great job tonight. I think they only missed like 3. That was one of the big differences in the game, and like I said, their second half threes. So just, not letting that pressure affect us and just taking the time and making the free throw.
Thank you guys.